we want inflation expectations to be centered on 2%. We feel like they may be a little bit below that. So the bigger picture is that that would be a healthy thing. This is a different thing. This is not that. That was the kind of inflation we were thinking about that comes from from a very, very strong labor market and a booming economy. Maybe that was the kind of inflation. With this is something different. This is really driven by the supply side, which is not able to handle this big spike in demand that we're seeing as the economy reopens with vaccination and fiscal support and monetary policy support. The supply side, just all over the world, you're seeing the same thing, which is it just can't keep up. And there are labor shortages in a lot of places, the same sort of thing. So, there's absolutely no sense of panic. I've explained, I think, several times here today that my best estimate is that this is something that will pass. It's really a shock to the economy that will pass through. If you look at where forecasters are, people who actually write down a forecast for a living, very, very strongly, they see it that way. Now, we're actually responsible for this, though, so we have to take seriously the risk case, which is that inflation will be more persistent, that it might actually move inflation expectations up, and that we might, the kind of things that might require a response. We don't see that now, but we have to be on the alert for it, and people have to understand and believe that we will react if we need to, and we will. But again, it's not my base case. My base case is as I've said repeatedly, is that inflation will move back down. And no, we're not. We have not at all changed our view, and I haven't changed my view that inflation running above 2%, moderately above 2%, is a desirable thing. This is not moderately above 2%. This is well above 2%, but it's also not the kind of inflation we were looking for. This is really driven by a supply side shock.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to Don Lee at the Los Angeles Times for the last question.
Hi, Chair Powell. I wonder if you could talk about wages. Many workers seem to have gotten some good wage gains in recent months. What can workers generally expect going forward? And it doesn't sound like you're concerned about rising wages feeding into broader inflation. Is that right?